Bonjour and welcome back to my channel. Claude here. Thank you for joining me for your messages from your ancestors for February. I hope you are all doing well and that you've had a good month so far. This is going to be a reading for the people born under the Empress card, the Hangman card and the World card. If you do not know what your tarot birth card is, I've dropped you a link in the description box below to a short instructional video in order to work it out. In this kind of readings, I channel messages things that your ancestors or passed on loved ones would want you to have a look at. So it may be a bit triggering sometimes, and please do remember that those are general readings. They will not resonate with everybody. So I'm going to grab a couple of cards from each of my oracle decks and I will clarify with the tarot. If you're interested in the decks, I have reviewed them on my channel and there'll be a link to their respective videos in the description box below too. So if you'd like to connect to the energy of my deck, now is the time to take a couple of deep breaths whilst I shuffle it. So what do my querents born under the Empress card, the Hangman card and the World card need to hear from their ancestors for their highest good, please? So I'm going to grab a couple from this one and from this one. Okay, let's see what we have for you. So we have card number 10, Fergan, become a loving mirror. We have Euphoria, honor yourself. This card has come out already 3 times in ancestors' messages, so there is a lot of energy to do with being authentic and true to yourself and who you are. We also have card 35, taking back your power, and card 17, compassion. Now these 2 cards, they mirror each other, and I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that now. Becoming a loving mirror is looking at somebody or even a situation, and instead of being angry at it or reacting harshly, violently, whether it's emotionally or physically, it's understanding where it's coming from and reflecting love rather than a negative emotion towards it. And it's very hard to hear when people hurt us, people who are mean or have, ill intentions. They are people who actually are suffering. They are not happy. There is something, there's a wound that's not been addressed and they need healing. But instead of that, they lash out. And sometimes it's because they do not have the emotional intelligence to understand that's what's going on. Sometimes it's just a protection mechanism. But this card is saying to understand where the attack is coming from, where the meanness is coming from, or the unfairness. If you feel like, something is unfair, you're being treated unfairly. And obviously you will know which one applies to you if this message is for you. So it is really reflecting love rather than judgment. It's that kind of idea. And obviously, with the card of compassion, it's the same thing, it's tapping into your empathy and understanding that the person who's hurting you or the situation that's hurting you, whatever it is, it's not you, the problem's not you. And to just give off higher vibration energy is what your ancestors are saying. And try to see it, from the other person's point of view, or understand the wound that's not been dealt with, not being harsh, not judging, just, reacting from a place of love is, what I'm hearing very distinctively. It could also be that we are dealing with an inner wound that you have yourself, and the compassion could be to do with showing compassion to yourself. But in the center of this message we have honor yourself and take back your power. I've also noticed that 35 reduces to 8, then you've got 9, and then you've got 10, so you've got 8, 9, 10. A progression here in numbers if you're into numerology like I am. So Honor Yourself is the card of dropping the mask, okay? This is the card that basically gives you the message that the mask needs to fall and you need to show your authentic self. It's not pretending to be someone you're not. You are a unique human being. You also are a divine human being, and it is very important that you embrace who you are if you are to fulfill your potential, whether you're trying to create a very happy life or whether you believe that we are on this planet to fulfill a life purpose, whatever the case may be. This is the card that calls you up on you projecting a personality that's not you, okay? You're hiding behind that mask, and by doing so you're not doing yourself justice. Now please do not think I'm judging, okay? I'm just channeling messages. I did say at the beginning sometimes they can be a bit triggering, because when we work with ancestral energy or past on loved ones, they're going to call you up on the things that you maybe don't want to deal with. So they're asking you to drop this mask, whatever this mask represents. And maybe for some of you, you pretend to be strong, you protect yourself by being snappy in how you talk to people, by erecting barriers, and that's what they're saying to you. Drop this, become a loving mirror, drop the mask. You are a loving individual. That's a message for someone out there. But it's also talking about taking your power back. 8 is the number of advancement. The way forward for you is to take your power back. You cannot be empowered if you are hiding behind a mask. Your true powers lie in who you are, like genuinely who you are. And there's a lot of symbolism on this card, but you can see these are dragging the mind, okay? These are tethers and can't escape. But you've got the lotus symbol of having the roots in the mud and then aiming for higher things, your higher self, you know, going higher up. That's what this is about. So I really feel like at the moment, maybe you are at the receiving end of somebody who's nasty, toxic, or there's something that's unfair that's going on, and your ancestors are saying to you, hey, drop the mask, stop accepting this, be authentic to who you are and take your power back. Don't do it nastily, you know, show compassion, but don't accept that anymore. That's another message I'm getting very clearly here. And you know, with energies like the Empress card and the World card, these are the number 3, which is your overall ruler number, is the number of growth, expansion, evolution. So this is a process, you know. We're on this planet to learn. Of that I really believe we are. And so, you know, this is part of this journey. And as for the Hangman, you know, it is the there is an idea of self-sacrifice with the Hangman card, about having to release something in order to grow further. This is the mask that needs to be dropped. So let's see with the tarot. Let's see what the tarot has to say about all of this. Because obviously it depends on, you know, which messages are talking to you. So we have the 4 of Wands, the 10 of Wands, the 6 of Wands. Okay, we have a lot of fire energy here. Let me move that up. And the 5 of Cups. Yes. Bottom of the deck, which is the energy at work that you may not be aware of. The Magician. Yeah, that is a beautiful energy. Okay, so you have a major arcana pushing you forward. The Magician is the ultimate manifester. This is somebody who's using all of their tools and everything that's at their the tips of their fingers in order to create what they want. And this is, to me as a tarot reader, when I see major arcana, particularly when I do ancestor work, this is your spirit team guiding you, okay? They're trying to get you to empower yourself and embody the energy of this magician so that you can create something better for yourself. The magician also transforms, which is part of what's happening here, you know, like taking your power back. And they're saying you can do this, okay? You are a super manifestor, you have everything you need, you just need to realize that your power lies in who you really are. And you need to acknowledge that and drop that mask. So we have, as I said, a lot of energy, okay, that's fiery. Wands represents the fire, the drive, your spirit as well. And the Four of Wands is a beautiful energy of having something to celebrate. This is a celebration that comes after some kind of growth. It's a landmark. And so this is a turning point for you, okay? Becoming a loving mirror, not judging, not reflecting negativity, but actually embracing who you are and emanating love. And this is why this is recognized as being a true landmark for you, an achievement, something to celebrate. And when I saw the Ten of Wands, I did chuckle inside because, you know, the Ten of Wands is dropping the burden. It's, you know, I am exhausted, I've acquired some cuts and bruises, and now I'm dropping my burden, which is exactly what I was telling you with this mask. It's drop the mask. Leave behind what's in the shadow, and you see the future is here on this side with the light on that side, and just drop it, because now it's safe to do so. The 10 represents completion, the end of a cycle, and your ancestors are saying to you, this is it, okay? You have carried the burden for long enough. If this mask was protecting you because someone was sending you a lot of low vibration, there was a lot of animosity, whatever this was, your ancestors are telling you it is time to drop it. You do not have to deal with this anymore. And by taking your power back, you get the Six of Wands, beautiful energy of victory, of success, of triumph. The Six of Wands represents overcoming a challenge and being resoundingly victorious, sometimes even gaining the respect of others or the admiration of others because you have overcome it. And that's, you know, that is a powerful combination. Taking your power back, overcoming whatever the negativity was, and being victorious, not having to pretend anymore, not having to have your defenses up all the time, whatever the case may be. Because it's not been easy. You have the Five of Cups here. The 5 represents disruption, challenges, and changes. I always say, if you go against the grain of a change, it becomes a challenge. If you embrace it, it's an opportunity to grow. And with the Five of Cups here, this is to do with the emotional body. This is the water. So this is, and you see you've got water here. This is saying, okay, this has been difficult for you on an emotional level. So it could be that you've been disappointed by somebody or a situation. It could be that you've experienced some regrets, you know, whatever the regrets are, for being part of it, for letting it go on for too long, for feeling you had to. That's a special message out there for someone. You know, the Five of Cups represents that. It represents looking at something and feeling the disappointment, the regrets, the sadness, and not being able to see that behind there's still 2 cups that are up. So there's still something to look forward to. It's not all doom and gloom, but it's difficult when we are in the middle of it, you know, in the muddy waters like the lotus. It's difficult to always aspire to go up, you know, because from the mind we get the tethers there, you know, you get anchored, and it's harder to do. But you've got the Six of Wands, you know, you're going to be successful, and the key is to be compassionate. They're saying to you, okay, so you've experienced something very unpleasant emotionally, whether it's despair, regrets, disappointment, deep sadness, an emotional wound. But the way forward is to show compassion. Understand where it came from. Remember what I was telling you with this becoming a loving mirror. Understand where it came from and grow from it, you know, build with the magician, manifest something better, because now you can be authentically you, is what they're saying. So I'm going to grab a couple of closing messages for you to close out your reading. So can we have some final messages from Aquarians, please? Okay, so we have trust the universe. Okay, so big leap of faith energy. Your ancestors saying, you know, like with the magician, trust that you have got what it takes to move on from this, to be successful with the Six of Wands. Just remember to reflect only high vibrational energy. Trust the universe, co-create with the universe. Your ancestors are behind you, they're protecting you. And push through any insecurities. Yes, when you drop your mask, sorry, the card's on it. When you drop your mask, when you finally release the burden of the Ten of Wands, you may feel hesitation, you may feel exposed, and that's completely natural. And just push through it, because the message is clear, okay? Trust the universe. They're here. They're going to guide you. You're being protected. You're being guided. And it is the right thing for you. You're going to be victorious. You're going to get your power back. And you're going to be able to live a life where you are authentically you. So I hope you've enjoyed your journey for the cards with me. If you found this message helpful in any ways, do let me know in the comment box below. I'd love to hear from you. As always, I thank you for your time. It's your most precious commodity. I am truly humbled you chose to spend it with me. I wish you a wonderful end of the month, and I'll see you again very soon. Until next time, au revoir.